Take a look at your smartphone. It's probably one of the most important products in your daily life. You use it to communicate, work, shop, watch videos, navigate, take photos, manage finances, and stay connected to the world. For most people, a smartphone is simply a device, a product they buy every few years, something that fits in a pocket. But behind every smartphone is a business story that most consumers never see. A story involving some of the largest companies on Earth, massive global supply chains, billions of dollars in investments, and one of the most complex business ecosystems ever created. Because the truth is, the smartphone business isn't really about smartphones anymore, and understanding that may completely change how you look at the device in your hand. Most people assume smartphone companies make money by selling phones. And while that's partly true, it's only a small piece of the story. In reality, the smartphone has become the center of an enormous business ecosystem. The phone itself is often just the starting point. Think about what happens after someone buys a smartphone. They download apps, subscribe to services, store photos in the cloud, purchase accessories, buy digital content, use payment systems, and spend countless hours inside digital platforms. Each of those activities generates revenue somewhere. The smartphone isn't just a product, it's a gateway to an entire economy. That's why some technology companies care so much about keeping customers inside their ecosystems. The longer a customer stays connected to that ecosystem, the more valuable that relationship becomes. This is one of the biggest secrets of the smartphone business. Customer retention can be more valuable than the phone sale itself. A company may sell a device once, but it can earn revenue from services for years. That's why subscriptions have become increasingly important. Cloud storage, music services, video streaming, premium features, app purchases. These recurring revenue streams often provide predictable income long after the original device has been purchased. In many cases, businesses aren't just selling hardware anymore. They're building long-term customer relationships, and smartphones sit at the center of that strategy. Another hidden part of the smartphone business involves suppliers. Most people see a smartphone brand, Apple, Samsung, Google, or another major manufacturer. What they don't see are the hundreds of companies helping create the final product. The display may come from one company, the memory chips from another, the processor from another, the camera components from another, the battery from another, and the manufacturing may happen somewhere entirely different. A modern smartphone represents one of the most sophisticated supply chains in the world. Thousands of businesses participate in the process. Many of them are highly specialized. Many consumers have never heard their names. Yet they play critical roles in making smartphones possible. This creates an entire business ecosystem that extends far beyond the brands consumers recognize. The semiconductor industry is another major piece of the story. Every smartphone depends on advanced chips. Without them, none of the features people rely on would exist. Processing power, connectivity, photography, battery efficiency, everything depends on semiconductors. As smartphones became more powerful, the value of advanced chip design increased dramatically. Today, chip companies are some of the most strategically important businesses in the technology world. And smartphone demand continues influencing investment decisions throughout the semiconductor industry. But perhaps the most valuable part of the smartphone business is data. Not personal data in the way people often discuss privacy, but behavioral data. Understanding what customers use, how they use devices, which services they prefer, what features matter most. Businesses study these patterns constantly because understanding user behavior helps companies improve products, develop services, and strengthen customer relationships. The smartphone provides an extraordinary amount of insight into consumer preferences. And in modern business, understanding customers is incredibly valuable. The app economy reveals another hidden layer. Millions of developers build software for smartphones. Some create games, others build productivity tools, health applications, educational platforms, shopping services, and countless other products. Entire businesses exist because smartphones exist. Many companies never manufacture hardware, Yet their success depends entirely on smartphone users. The smartphone created opportunities for entrepreneurs, startups, and software companies around the world. That's why the device became more than a product. It became a platform. And platforms are often more valuable than products. Another fascinating aspect of the smartphone business is upgrades. Technology companies spend enormous resources encouraging consumers to remain engaged with their ecosystems. Historically, consumers upgraded frequently. But smartphone innovation has matured. Modern devices already perform extremely well. As a result, upgrade cycles have lengthened. Consumers hold onto devices longer. This creates challenges for manufacturers. If people buy fewer devices, companies must find other ways to grow revenue. That's one reason services have become so important. The business model is evolving. Revenue increasingly comes from what happens after the purchase rather than only from the purchase itself. This trend is reshaping the entire industry. Competition is changing too. Years ago, smartphone companies competed primarily on hardware, better cameras, faster processors,
Larger screens. Today, ecosystems often matter more.
Consumers aren't just choosing a phone, they're choosing an experience. The apps, the services, the accessories, the cloud storage, the integration with other devices. The entire ecosystem becomes part of the decision. And once customers enter an ecosystem, they often stay there. That loyalty has enormous business value. Perhaps the most surprising part of this story is how many industries depend on smartphones. Retail, banking, entertainment, healthcare, transportation, education, advertising. Almost every major industry has adapted to a smartphone-first world. Businesses design products around mobile users, develop services around mobile behavior, and invest billions to reach consumers through smartphones. The device has become one of the most important commercial platforms in history, which is why so many companies compete for a place on it. So what is the secret business behind your smartphone? It's not the hardware, it's the ecosystem, the subscriptions, the services, the apps, the data insights, the supply chains, the semiconductors, and the countless businesses connected to the device you carry every day. What looks like a simple piece of technology is actually the center of a vast economic network worth trillions of dollars. A network involving manufacturers, software companies, developers, suppliers, service providers, and advertisers. The smartphone isn't just one product. It's an entire business universe. And every time you unlock your screen, you're interacting with one of the most powerful business ecosystems ever created. That's the secret most people never see. The phone in your pocket isn't just a device. It's the center of a global business machine that keeps growing long after the original sale is made.